What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lucid Trading. Welcome back indeed on this beautiful Thursday morning. We have about 45 minutes left until the market opens up. Make sure you smash that like button right now. I would appreciate it a lot. Welcome back to, let's see who's here. J-Max, Greg, Andreas, William S. X. Saint, James, Eon, Jill, Alan, and Shazeb. Welcome back to the stream. Today it seems like the markets are still looking kind of wobbly. It's looking pretty peculiar, I would say. Very, very interesting markets. It looks like people are not willing to buy the dip. We're not seeing, at least not in the pre-market yet. We'll have to see what happens during the market open hours. But yeah, the Russell's down again, back to back. We're seeing the NASDAQ slightly green, but not convincing, in my opinion. Not looking convincing yet. If we take a look at the MACD, still looking kind of bearish. Looks like the MACD is going to be pulling, it's going to pull back down. And if we take a look at the S&P was red, obviously, slightly red. There you go. And overall, markets are still red, haven't gone down so much, but we haven't seen any kind of dip buying yet. So I personally have a boatload of cash on the sidelines. As you might know, I am still very cautious on the markets here. I do think that we're going to be seeing a little bit more downside. I don't think it's going to be significant. I don't think there's a crash coming or anything like that. We'll see a nice correction to the downside. And, well, the media is bearish right now. Generally speaking, when the media is bearish, you don't see a crash happen. You don't see a 20% correction happen. You maybe see a tiny percent correction happen. Like a 5 to 10% correction could still happen here. And it's, it is the month of September. The stock market has gone up 23%. And on top of that, we have CPI coming, PPI is coming. The Fed is going to be talking at the end of the month. There's a whole lot of things happening that could potentially bring the market slightly lower. Now, the title of this stream is the stock market is stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I kind of want to explain that. So what I mean is, when CPI goes up, if it's going to go up, that is going to increase the likelihood that the Federal Reserve is going to taper. So that's bad for the market down the road. If CPI is going down, we're going to have less asset appreciation, and that could also be pretty bad because the market has been benefiting from inflation. You've got to think it like this. If a hamburger costs about $5, right, and inflation goes from 0 to 10%, that hamburger is going to be $5.5. And the same way, the market has inflated because the value of money has gone down. And so that's the market. We've benefited from inflation. If inflation's going to slow down, we're going to see the market slow down as well. Obviously, if inflation spikes, then we could see the 10-year spike, which could also be bad for companies. And in both scenarios, you're looking at, the market losing. Although some people might argue, but, if there's higher inflation, then the market is going to appreciate. And if there's lower inflation, what we're going to see is basically the Fed is not going to taper. Which could definitely be the case. Although I think that's, in my opinion, going to be something that's going to affect the markets in the coming 6 months. However, in the short term, I think we could still see a bearish correction if we either see CPI going up a lot or down a lot, which is kind of interesting, right? It's like you can't really go anywhere at this point other than to the downside. And then on top of that, we have record levels of margin depth. We also have the, the put call ratio is right now sitting super low. Everybody's bullish. Everybody's jacked up in calls. And I think this could be a recipe for a correction. Now, of course, everybody's been saying this, so everywhere we're seeing the same kind of thing, where media outlets are coming out and saying, hey, the market could correct. Other YouTubers are saying it. I don't think this is going to be a crash. I think we're going to see a small correction, and then we're going to see the rally continue. I would say the main reason that the rally would continue is because we still have strong earnings coming up. And we also have Jerome Powell just basically not talking about tapering. We have no date, no announcement for a tapering event. And, well, we've got some time left until the next Fed meeting. And maybe they won't announce tapering. With the lower jobs that we have been seeing, 235,000 jobs added last month, that could be an indication that the tapering might get delayed. So I am bullish for the next 6 months. I am bearish for the next coming weeks. I think we could see a correction. Now that's I think enough about that, right? Let's take a look at the technicals on some of these indicators. Let's see. Okay, so the 10-year is still falling. Remember what we said about the 10-year yield? We said that the 10-year was going to fall back down. It did exactly that. That is fantastic. Now it's bouncing back up, close to the trend line, starting to bounce back up. And that is looking pretty interesting. MACD's crossing, RSI is spiking. But yeah, overall, the 10-year is still down today. It's definitely not looking super green. Which is kind of flat, right? It's kind of trading in between a range at the moment. We hit this resistance right here, then it pulled back, and ever since it's been kind of trading lower. Gara, did you see China stocks? Yeah, some of the Chinese stocks have been going down quite a bit, actually. I know what you mean by that. We can take a look at that in a second. Yeah, so the 10-year at the moment, I would say, looking kind of stable. Bitcoin cryptocurrencies are still trending lower, although Cardano has spiked up quite a bit here, up 4%. What's happening with Tesla? Tesla is slightly green, although I would say not looking that bullish. NIO is down about 0.9%. We got Li Auto down roughly 1.5%. XPeng down 1.3%. Lucid Motors, Lucid Group is up 1.2%. That's interesting. So Lucid Group is going up the most of all these EV stocks. Looking at AMC, pulling back down. AI is looking flat right now. Palantir down a percentage point back to back. Remember, yesterday we had the market coming down. We had some of these stocks going down substantially in the first hours, and then over the day, it actually recovered. Right, we had a lot of stocks recovering until the end of the day, and now what we're seeing is that those gains that we saw, those the people that bought the dip, pushed up the stock price, it's now coming back down again. So we're seeing selling pressure come back in. Even with Snowflake, this is like a prime example. It went up 1.8%, and then it pulled back 2.2% in the pre-market. So basically gave back everything that it went up. Looking very bearish right now. MACD crossing. Looks like we're going to see Snowflake below 300 very soon. That does make sense right now. Citi gave a buy rating for Lucid, $28 price targets. Interesting. We have Big Tech, slightly green, like always. Big Tech cannot go down. It is not allowed to go down, like what we've seen the past 6 months. So far, so good. Looks like Big Tech is not falling. BNGO, slightly green. Nano Dimension, slightly red. We're not seeing anything conclusive right now. Although with the Chinese stocks, we are. Because we have DIDI going down 2.2% after the 7.3% drop. Alibaba down 2.3% after a 2.5% drop. So we're going straight back to the gaps, filling the gaps right now. With DIDI, I would argue we're just, we're holding trend line right now. It could break. If it does break, we're going back down to $8, really. What could also happen is that it consolidates and then we head back up higher. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it's game over yet. Virgin Galactic had a fantastic day yesterday. It went up 3.4%. Now down 0.8% in the pre-market. I'm going to tell you, I like Virgin Galactic right now. At the current price, I think we're going to be seeing higher prices in the coming months, especially if the probe from the FAA is concluded. I think we're going to see Virgin Galactic rise back up to $30 and eventually get back to 40. But yeah, looking pretty good. Helion went down 6%. Like I said previously, if it goes back to 8.16, I will be buying more Helion stock. But right now, I'm holding off. I think it could drop actually a little bit lower, and it is dropping a little bit lower in the pre-market, as you might see. Robinhood is up 0.4%. I like Robinhood at the current price. Looking pretty solid. Sitting at $40. They've got a $34.2 billion market cap. Sitting at a recent low, pretty much, after it skyrocketed to about $85 right around the IPO. I think Robinhood is as cheap as it can get. They recently released the new Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency mode. I think you can buy cryptocurrencies now on Robinhood. I think you could do that for a while now, but they're actually doubling down on that, and I think that's going to benefit them like humongously, since cryptos are still very popular right now. So Robinhood looking attractive at around $40. I think it could possibly get back to close to that $50 the next month or two, which is still a nice 25% gain. So don't mind if I do. I'll be buying some Robinhood at market open. It's getting very close back to its IPO price, which is interesting, right? We have Netlist down 7.6%. I might actually start buying a little bit of Netlist as well at market open. Just small amounts, right? I still have a lot of cash on the sidelines, and I don't want to necessarily go all in now with the market sitting close to all-time highs. I'm kind of waiting until the markets come back down lower. So we're waiting for that. But I would say Netlist, Robinhood, Virgin Galactic, Helion, even Uber. I think Uber is actually a really good opportunity as well. Although sitting at a relatively high market cap, it's sitting at 75 billion, a 75 billion market cap. I would say DIDI is way better than Uber at this point. $40 per stock, and they've been going down for the past weeks and months. Yeah, this is looking pretty interesting. Fell down from 60. So how much is Uber down right now? Down 37.5%. Very, very interesting. Let's check the daily chart, see what's happening there. Looks like the MACD is starting to move up. Kind of stuck in this range between 39 around 42. We could see another leg lower back to that 39 and then bounce back up to the 45, $50 range. That's going to take some time, but I think it's definitely going to be worth it. So, Uber is actually still sitting close to the IPO price, which is crazy because that was 2 years ago. Even longer. It's almost like 2.5 years ago now. So I would say Uber, they have improved significantly. Although they did offer more shares probably. So like they diluted the shares so they have a higher market cap than 2 years ago. So you've got that, you got to like take that into consideration. Yeah, I would say Uber is still good. So Uber, get back to 45. Netlist, at this point, I think we're going to see Netlist probably hit around $5. And then probably at that point, get back to around $5.9, which is still, a good 15 to 20% move to the upside. And if we got any luck and we got some news from the lawsuits that are going on with Netlist and Google and Samsung and others, then we could definitely see it get back to $7 again. And that's why I'm buying this stock. I think it's going to be worth more in the next 6 months. Not necessarily tomorrow or next week, but we could still see it go up in the next 2 weeks back to around $6, which would be nice. From the current price of the of 5.3 to 6, it's a 15% gain. I do think it might get back to that $5 level, right around that 100-day moving average, and then bounce back up. And that would be great for Netlist. Let's take a look at DIDI. Is DIDI still falling right now? Is it still? Yeah, it's still falling. Right, so it's down 2.2%. Right on that trend line. Not oversold yet. Not at all. Not even close to being oversold, by the way. The RSI is neutral, so that's pretty clear. And the daily is not oversold. 1 hour looks not oversold yet either. So if the market does come down lower, I think DIDI could get back down to $8, maybe even lower than that, short term. That's depending on the market sentiment. If the market sentiment is going to be bearish, we're definitely going to see DIDI come down actually quite a bit lower. All right, let's check what's happening here in the chat. By the way, let me know which stocks you would like me to cover. Let me know in the chat. I will take a look at your stocks, do some technical analysis, and we'll get going. If there is a 5 to 10% correction, do you see NVIDIA going back to 180? 100%. NVIDIA is going to go down. If that happens, no freaking way it's going to stay stable at the current price of 220. By the way, I've been talking about Nike stock for some time, and you might know that I was quite a bit bearish on Nike. You might remember me saying that Nike was very overvalued at $170. I added a short position on Nike at 170, and I added more at 173. And so what happened is Nike fell down. It fell down the past couple weeks. It's now sitting at 163. It hit 159 and actually got out around 160. So that is Nike for you. We said it was going to go down. It went down significantly. I would not dare to short it right now because it already went down quite a bit, but that was an interesting trade. Let's check Tesla. Tesla still moving, sitting at 756. Check Sava, BNGO, Sofi, Palantir. Interesting. Bitcoin, gigantic candle. Let me check BNGO first, and then we'll check Sava and Sofi. Yeah, I'm not really changing my opinion on this. I think BNGO could come down a little lower, potentially back down to 5.3. 5.3, yeah, so around that zone and potentially around that level we could see a bit of a bounce. We can see that the 1 hour is already oversold, the 4 hours not oversold yet, and usually BNGO jumps when it's oversold on the 4 hours. And so for it to be oversold, I think it has to come back to the 5.4, 5.3, and it's already looking quite bearish. Volumes are coming down, very negative, selling pressure. 1.5 billion market cap. They're still burning tons of money. And usually the stocks, the companies that are burning a lot of money and have little to no revenue, they perform the worst right before the CPI. That's kind of what we're seeing right now. One or 2 weeks before CPI, BNGO starting to drop right after it actually started moving up. And I think the main reason that is happening is because people are nervous about the CPI report. The Consumer Price Index report could mean a lot, and it could actually affect stocks like BNGO quite a bit to the downside. So yeah, I would say initially go down to 5.4, depending on the CPI report. You know, if it's a good report, if inflation is kind of flattening out and heading down, then I think we're going to spike very fast to $6. If it's a bad report, if inflation is going up even more, then we could get back to $5, right? I think we're going to see CPI go flat and go down. So I think we're going to see $6 pretty soon. I would say I'll give it a week, maybe a week and a half. We'll be back to $6 in no time. Now for SoFi, if we take a look at Sofi Technologies, which I am very bullish on right now because we've seen some significant price drops. Yet SoFi has been doing, it's been doing all right, right? It's not like SoFi is underperforming or anything like that. It's been doing all right. Hold up. There we go. So okay, so it spiked recently. It's now sitting at around 15.3. And if we take a look at the daily charts, looking fairly bullish. RSI. Yeah, it kind of seems like we're heading right back up to that 16.7 to fill the gap. And that could exactly be what's happening here. And that's the base. I would say maybe we see it consolidate a little further. Yeah, most probably at this point. Let me see if there's like an... Yeah, if you can look at the historic prices for SoFi, we have an all-time high at $28. It's sitting at 15 right now. So it's still down like 45%. Not saying it's going to go back to that level, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see it rally upwards. This is not exactly a good support level, but let's say we consolidate here and then we slowly head back up. I think for the coming time, because we have CPI coming up in a couple days, right? We have today, tomorrow, and then Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be the CPI report, which is going to be right here. It looks like we're going to consolidate before we see any kind of move. How do I know that? How do I think that? Well, basically, we've got the MACD going down. It's crossing downwards. Volumes are not as super high or anything like that. And, you know, RSI is right around neutral. So it seems like, if anything, the stock is going to be flat for the coming days. Flat or down, right? Although I like what's happening on the 1 hour. It looks like it's kind of going to spike initially and just come back down. So, yeah, let's just draw it on the daily chart, I guess. I think that's a lot better. Because right here is the CPI. Let's say we return back down to 15 and then we bounce right after CPI back to that 16.5 to about $17 level for SoFi. I think that seems to be reasonable. It would fill the gap, and we would also see. Yeah, it would also follow the trend that we had, which is this right here. And it would make sense. I mean, if we have the CPI heading down, then that is confirmation that the 10-year doesn't necessarily have to spike. We don't have to necessarily see that happen, and that could benefit a SoFi or other growth stocks for that matter. Check Alibaba, please. I want to check Alibaba. I think that's an interesting one. I'm holding a boatload of Alibaba right now, and to be honest, I did anticipate a downturn. It seemed like we had a double top formation. We had a gap to the downside. And, well, the markets are sitting at all-time highs. Chinese stock market was going down as well. So eventually, the stock goes down. And it has been going down. It looks like we're seeing Alibaba go back closer to the trend line, which was right here. If we can just move it. And we're also filling this gap over here. Remember, we filled that gap. Now we're filling this gap. I think it looks like the 165 is going to be acting as support. So I don't expect it to go down below this zone right here. I think we will see this trend line being upheld. Unless, of course, the whole Chinese market starts collapsing or something like that. Or the stock market as a whole, because obviously U.S. equities have a big impact on stocks like Alibaba. So yeah, at this moment, I would say we're probably looking like we're going to touch the trend line, and then we bounce off of that. We head back up to where we were. And we just slowly rally back upwards. And then we eventually fill that gap to 182. I think if we do see a move to the upside again, we're going straight for that gap right there. So something like this. Yeah, this resistance seems to be quite strong. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of a drop again. Maybe back to 170, and then we shoot up. So that would be what I'm currently thinking on Alibaba. A lot can happen. You know, the Chinese government could say something horrible about, you know, tech stocks, and then tech stocks go down. But overall, I'm still incredibly bullish on Alibaba. It's still down, like, I think it's down something around 50% year to date. No, it's not even year to date. It's since November. It's down 47.9% right now, something like that, which is close to 50%. Now looking at DIDI, still down 2%. Alibaba down 2.2%. Check C3.ai. What is a good entry? Will AI go down to 45 again? It totally depends on the market. I think AI, fundamentally speaking, is looking incredibly well. It's looking really, really good. It's just we're waiting for the market to conclude what's going to happen, because the market is kind of going choppy, right? It's like it doesn't know what to do. It's like, oh boy, if CPI goes up, that's bad. If CPI goes down, that's also bad. Is the Federal Reserve going to taper, or are they not going to taper? And that's kind of on people's minds right now. And that's why I titled the current stream that the stock market is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because it kind of is stuck between a rock and a hard place at the moment. All right, so make sure you hit the like button. We've got 16 minutes left until the market opens up. I'm going to be starting a poll. Let me quickly do that. There we go. Gara, C3.ai is scheduled to have 2 investor presentations tomorrow, and Monday we will soon have new customers. Yeah, I think people don't know what's happening with C3.ai. I think most people are pretty clueless about the fundamentals of many of these companies. Which is great, because that's why I can make money in the market, why some people can make money into the market, because nobody else is checking the fundamentals. Everybody's just buying stocks based off of nothing. Based off of feelings, I would say. Most people are buying stocks based off of feelings. There we go. Oh, I feel that this stock is going to go up. And then they buy the stock. I would say 90% of people do that. Which is just... I mean, it's questionable. The enterprise AI application software company announced that management will present the following investor. Oh, that's interesting. So they're going to be presenting at Deutsche Bank Virtual Technology Conference and Piper Sandler Virtual Global Technology Conference. That's the 10th of September tomorrow, and I believe the 13th of September, Monday, next week. That's really cool. So yeah, the C3.ai is going to have some bullish catalysts coming up. Who knows what could happen? Maybe they get new customers, and that would really boost their stock price. Can we do GameStop real quick since they had earnings? I think most of the upside on GameStop was already priced into the stock. Yeah, there you go. Exactly that. It's like, oh yeah, let me just buy GameStop right before earnings so I can sell it right after. There you go. Down 9.5%. Yeah, so we're seeing, you know, buy the rumor, sell the news. That happens every single time, though. Look at that. I can show you right here. The past couple of earnings, we've had this phenomenon. Spike, down after earnings. Spike, right before and after earnings, down. Same thing is happening again. Usually it is a good time to be buying GameStop right after earnings. Generally, the stock actually comes down a bit, and you'll get a better price on your stock. But it could actually drop a little bit further. It seems like we might see maybe even 160 or 170 on GameStop. I think if it reaches 163, that could be an interesting buying opportunity right now, because they're actually able to. They're actually changing the fundamentals of this company, so it is not the same company of 1 year ago. So yeah, it looks interesting. I would say we're looking at GameStop potentially heading down and then bouncing back up like it usually does. It could get back down to around 160, 170 at some point. And then maybe rally back up to maybe $200. I think $200 would be nice. Back to around $200 once it falls. No, nothing happening with the Chinese stocks. They're not recovering, right? We're not seeing anything. Nobody's buying the dip. Looking at Robinhood. Okay, so Robinhood is going up 0.5%, and Helion is still down. Netlist is, oh my god. Okay, so Netlist is down 4% after the 7.6% drop of yesterday. I will definitely be buying the dip there. Thank you very much. And AI is down 0.5%, which is interesting because they have got an event coming up tomorrow. Let me check C3.ai right now. Down 0.4%, and if we take a look at MarketWatch, it's the same. It's okay, so it's not a whole lot has changed. Yes. So what's your expectation for AI in terms of revenues? Will they 2x or maintain a 30% growth? While the CEO of the company, don't listen to me, listen to the CEO. The CEO of the company said that revenue was going to go up from 29% to 38%. So their revenue is going to grow. Whether you like the company or not, their revenue is going to grow to 38%. So to keep it clear, they're going to grow. Whether you like it or not, whether you dislike C3 or you like C3, their revenue is going to grow next quarter. And then he also said that they would be growing in 2023, as in growing faster. Faster than expected and faster than he initially thought. Whatever that may mean, right? I think they're going to grow quite fast. And I think it's not priced into the stock yet. And that's where the opportunity lies. Because I think nobody has an idea what's happening. Most people sold off right after they saw that their EPS wasn't that good. Like they usually do. September is looking gloomy. Yeah, it is so far. I mean, we're not seeing much upside. We're not seeing a lot of downside, but we've seen a lot of upside right before September, and I think that's why people are kind of So we've been going up for the past couple months. Why is September so gloomy? Why aren't we going up? Well, because we already have gone up like 20% or something, just in the past couple months. Oh. All right, we have 10 minutes left until the market opens. I would really appreciate it if you would smash that like. And let's see. Do you think that the market is going to go up, or do you think we're going to see a correction? Let me know. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Let me grab a tissue 1 second. Always nice to have some iced tea when the markets are moving the way they are. Also, it's really, really warm weather today, just like yesterday. So, some cold iced tea will help with the thinking. All right, 7 minutes left. Bitcoin is going up again, up 2.4%. Ethereum up 1.6%. Cardano now up 5.2%. Okay, DIDI is spiking. Looks like DIDI is about to spike from... It might actually spike again from this place. Although historically speaking, it seems like whenever we see a downturn like this, it tends to consolidate for a couple days before we see any kind of move to the upside. So I think that is what's happening here with DIDI. Potentially consolidating right here. Alibaba is still down 2.2%, not really coming back up. Virgin Galactic is down about 0.3%. Very interesting. DIDI, Baidu, yeah, I don't know. Looks like the Chinese stocks are not having it, not at all. BYD is it's down 3% in the pre-market. Tencent is down 5.5% in the pre-market. So it's not just Baba or DIDI, it's just Chinese tech stocks in general that are all just pulling back, which is kind of strange. If you think about it, we've got the US equities hitting all-time highs after all-time highs after all-time highs, yet the Chinese stocks are down 50 or 60%. Nobody's willing to buy that, but they're willing to buy US equities at all-time highs. I don't know, it's just kind of... It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, Snowflake is still plummeting. We have the Nasdaq green. Looks like the Nasdaq is spiking back up. How much of a downturn do we have? A 1% downturn. Ugh. That is not significant. We have a poll running. And I asked, will we see $4,800 on the S&P 500? And 53% of people said yes, 47% said no. That's a lot of people that are bearish right now. I think we're going to see 4,800. I think there's a very high probability that we will see that coming up. Whether it's going to be at the end of this year or the start of next year. There's like no way around it with the earnings that we've seen so far. You know, this train is going to keep on going. All right, let's see. Which stock should we take a look at? Right for market open. Masras coming in here with a $5 donation. Masras says, "Good morning. Can you cover Lucid and Neo? Lucid got a $28 price target, and Neo as well, please." Thanks for your donation. I'll take a look at both of them. I think that'll be nice. Yeah, I've said in the past that we would bottom out shoot back up to $20, and then maybe consolidate there. Lucid Group is going up 1.3%, right after the price target increase by Citigroup. I still think it's going to be stuck in a range despite it heading up. I think we need a proper catalyst. We haven't got that yet. It's sitting right below the 200-day moving average at the moment. And on the weekly chart, looking very bearish still. Yeah, I think what could happen here is we see it kind of slowly return back to around 20.5. And then we just consolidate here. We just go sideways. And then depending on the market, right? If the market is falling, Lucid is going to fall. If the market goes up further, it's going to go up. But I think it's more likely than not that we would see it kind of go pretty much flat around the lower 20s, which I've been saying for like a couple weeks. Because we were lacking a catalyst. Okay, so the market is going to go open in about a couple seconds now. I want to see what happens with Tesla. We'll check NIO in a second. We'll get back to it in a second. Let's see. There we go. All right, let's see what happens with Tesla. They recently, Elon Musk actually said that Tesla is going to have a tough time for Q3 deliveries because of the supply shortages. Market open in a couple seconds. There we go. Oh boy. Let's see what's going to happen here. I hope the Chinese stocks are going to do well. But hope it's not going to do anything at this moment. And the market is officially open. Tesla's heading down. And so are many other stocks. NIO down a percentage point. Li Auto down 0.5%. And Tesla's going green. Let's see. NASDAQ is green. Russell's down. Dow Jones down. S&P down. NASDAQ doing the best right now. And we have Lucid Group going up 1.5%. XPeng is up slightly. Tesla is going back to 760, it seems. 757. Beautiful. AI down 0.5%. Palantir down 0.5%. We've got Snowflake down 1.7%. Big Tech green across the board. Green as the eye can see. Nano Dimension down to 6. BNGO sitting at 5.5. Nvidia and AMD are green. Tesla struggling to get back to 760. And DIDI down 2%. Baba down 2.4%. Very, very interesting. I'm going to add some... Okay, there you go. Robinhood going up 2.6%. What did I say? Looking very attractive. It was sitting at 40. It hit 30... I think it hit like 39.9 at some point. Now sitting at 41.1. Helion is still down. Netlist down. Uber slightly down. Virgin Galactic slightly down. Yeah, Chinese stocks are taking the brunt of it right now. Definitely. Looking pretty bad for the Chinese stocks. Yeah, that's... Oh. And Robinhood going up 3.2%. Meanwhile, Tesla sitting at 756.9. Still climbing. Let's see if my stocks are doing anything. Nope, not a whole lot, actually. I'm going to add some positions right now. I added a little bit more Alibaba. And Tesla's climbing back up to 758, it seems. And we're getting closer and closer to 760. Neo down 0.9%. I'm very, very tempted to add more stock. Just going to wait. I'm going to wait a little bit. Because the S&P is still negative. Dow Jones still negative. Russell still negative. We got a dollar heading down today. You know, the past couple days, remember, the dollar was going up. Now it's going down. 10-year going down. We have cryptos launching because the dollar's going down, probably, right? If the dollar goes down, pretty much you see cryptos go back up. Let's see what's happening to DIDI. DIDI slightly coming back up. Tesla's showing a lot of strength. Like a lot of strength. Hold up one sec. I wanted to quickly check some. I think we got a donation on PayPal. Hold up. I'll take a look at that. Tesla's about to hit 760. Up 0.8% today. 760 coming up. DIDI's pulling back up. Neo down 0.9% still. And Tesla sitting at 760. Or it's touching it right now. We got a €10 donation from Jesse Isaacson. Will Tesla go below $700 in September? Possibly. I think it could still happen. Now we're looking at 720 right now. Around 720, 730, that would be probably the lowest at this point because we have deliveries coming up. We have deliveries coming up in roughly 3 weeks. So if we see a bearish week, I don't see it go down below 700 at this point. But 720, 730 would be a possibility still. Tesla sitting at 761, skyrocketing. And thank you for that donation. I think we had to take a look at Neo as well, which, you know, Neo is doing relatively okay. 761, still climbing higher. We're seeing Apple hit 156, still going up. Big Tech is heading up. Let's see. DIDI is coming up quite a bit. Look at that, only down 0.5% now. It's quite, yeah, right. Robinhood up 3.7%, and yeah, Uber is still negative. That's kind of sad. Virgin Galactic going down 1.7%. AI, look at that. C3.ai up 1.2%, and it's skyrocketing. Starting to skyrocket right before the event that we have tomorrow, which could act as a big catalyst for C3. We'll see what happens. Tesla failing to go above 760 again. Neo sitting at 38, down 0.5%. Oh my god, C3.ai is catching up. Yeah, C3 is catching up quite nicely. Here we go. People are starting to buy the dip, right? There we go. Markets are starting to go green. It's only the Russell that's red. Dow Jones up 0.13%. We've got the Nasdaq up almost 0.5%. S&P up 0.1%. That is pretty wild. That is wild indeed. Alibaba staying low, but look at that S&P just. Look at these candles just back to back. It's shooting up. That's like 0.2%. Nano Dimension up 0.5%. We got BNGO up 2.7%. Very interesting. Big banks are green. probably because the Dow Jones is heading, yeah, there we go. But the 10-year is going down, so I don't think big banks are going to do a whole lot this moment. I think we could see Neo go up a substantial amount here. Let's take a look at Neo, right? What's happening with Neo? It's looking very chaotic right now. Right, so if we take a look at Neo at the moment, it sort of is looking like we're trending upwards. We've got a resistance line going on here, right around that zone. Goes all the way back here, I think. Oh well. And then we had this exacerbated move right here, and it came back down. Right. Okay, so that seems to be a solid resistance. Right, 44, 45. 43, 44-ish. We had the move to the downside right after they offered shares. So they offered about $2 billion worth of shares. It's a secondary offering. They're now down about 10%, sitting at 38, which is a great support zone. I do think that the RSI is sitting pretty low, MACD sitting low. I mean, the weekly is sitting quite low as well. It's been going down for a while. I think a reversal is probably coming for Neo. DIDI is about to go positive, by the way. That is crazy. Remember what we said about DIDI, that it was going to be bouncing off the trend line? That is happening right now as we speak. Now, with Neo, I'm probably going to say we're going back up to 43, 44. There's no way around it. Remember, it was sitting at like 36. You've got to remember this, right? We've done a live stream previously where Neo was at 36, and I said, guys, Neo is going to go back to 43, 44. And I highlighted this trend line, and I said, it's going to go back up right here. Guess what happens? It went from 36 all the way to 42, and then they offered new shares. They offered $2 billion worth of shares. Obviously, that is bearish, so the stock went down. If it wasn't for that, I think there was a high likelihood that it was going to go up back to 43, 44. And I think we're just going to have to wait a couple weeks. It's going to go back to 43, 44. Yeah, markets are looking more and more bullish. Interesting. AI up a percentage points. Tesla's going down a bit, sitting at 757.9. Palantir sitting at 25.76. Interesting. What do we have going on here? DIDI is about to go positive. Virgin Galactic is down 2.3%. That is wild. That is incredible. It manages to go up 5% and then just gives back everything. Which is interesting. Because I think it's more interesting due to the fact that it's already sitting very low. It's not like Virgin Galactic is sitting at 50. It's sitting at 24.7, which is a price that we've seen for a year. It's just been here for us for a while. I mean, look at the monthly chart. We can go all the way back to July 2020. That's a price we've seen in July 2020. Even back into March, March used to be closer to a high. Right now, it's considered the bottom. And it's been trending up ever since, Like this. Up and down. Very volatile. Still sitting close to the 100-day moving average. I don't think we're going to leave that, honestly. Only reason it would leave the 100-day moving average is, if that FAA probe would actually be very bearish, or if the markets would correct significantly, I think. Mara is skyrocketing, somebody said. Is it skyrocketing? Let me check. Oh, yeah, there you go. Mara up 4.5%. That's interesting. I would say, obviously, it's the cryptocurrencies that are heading up that are causing this. C3.ai up 1.3%. I think there's a lot more coming. A lot more for C3.ai. Yeah, I'm significantly more bullish than I've been for the past 3 months on C3 because, well, the CEO literally told us we're gonna make more money, like a lot more money than what we have seen in the past couple of months. So I'm quite convinced that that's going to go well. Palantir is now also heading up 0.3%. And we've got Snowflake still down 1.4%. BNGO up 3 percentage points. Recovery stocks are green. Semiconductors are green. Big banks are green as well. Value stocks are down. Some of the, well, obviously big banks are also kind of value stocks, but you know, financials are doing all right. I would say the financial side of the Dow Jones is doing good. Everything else is going down. You know, you got Coca-Cola going down, Verizon is going down, Procter & Gamble down, Chevron. Almost, you know, it's a value stock in almost every sector. By the way, if you just joined the stream, make sure you hit the like button. Smash it right now. Would appreciate it a lot. It helps the stream significantly. It helps, you know, with getting people to the stream, with the algorithm. So hit the like right now. If we hit 150 likes, we'll do another Q&A. So I will be answering all your questions in the chat. And also let me know which stocks you would like me to cover, and I'll be covering your stocks. BBIG is moving again. Let me check. BBIG, yeah, it's a bit of a pump and dump going on right now from Wall Street Bets. $724 million market cap, and it just keeps on climbing. I wouldn't touch this. This does look a lot like a bit of a short squeeze going on here. They do have revenue. It's not like they don't have... No, they don't have revenue. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. It's just being short squeezed. That's all that's happening right now. Fundamentally, probably not a good thing to be in at the moment. Now, Tesla's still sitting at 750 in the 750 range, unable to go above 760 yet. Interesting. It looks like that is going to be a big resistance here. It hasn't been able to properly go above it and actually reach, you know, 770 or something. So that's a little concerning. NEO is now down 1.3%. We got a donation. We got a €4 donation from John Sullivan. Let's see what John has to say. I think John didn't say anything. All right, thank you for that donation. Cheers, John. I'm going to quickly take a look at my own portfolio, see what I want to do here. I might want to add some NEO right now, actually. Although the MACD is about to cross, I don't like what I'm seeing here with the MACD crossing to the downside. And I would have to say, on the 4 hours, we're still not oversold. And we've got XPeng going down 2%. Li Auto is going down 2% as well. That's interesting. Robinhood is pulling back. Helion is pulling back. And DIDI is starting to come down more. What's happening with the indices? I mean, the Nasdaq is still spiking. The Dow Jones, pretty green. S&P is also green. Russell is barely down. Gold is starting to move up. The dollar is still down. 10-year still down. And we're seeing Tesla kind of spike back to 759. Oh, I think I disconnected very briefly. I'm so sorry for that. We got a $5 donation from Jude. J.R. Jacqueline. Thank you, Jude. Sup, Gara, how you doing, bro? Check out Givo and its resistance or where it might go in the future. Yeah, it was a brief disconnect. I'm sorry for that. Everything should be running fine now. Alright, Givo. Oh, wow. That is crazy. It's up 13.5% right now. It is shooting. It is shooting like crazy. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. I will say you don't want to touch this. You don't know what's going to happen next. This could definitely be a pump and dump. I'm just saying, you got to be careful with these kind of moves. I don't know much about this company, but this is one of the stocks that I've seen on Wall Street Bets. And, well, you just want to be careful with these. Although I have to say, it does look like the weekly chart is indicating that MACD is going to be crossing. That could be very bullish. And it's up 15%. So if anything, it looks like we're going back to around 7.5, honestly. Like, let's say we spike back to 7.5. And that would be it. I think it could run a little higher than what we currently have going. Hopefully the stream is not disconnecting again. No, it's going fine. Yeah, so I figured out that whenever it disconnects, I just connect it to the Wi-Fi or something. And then everything seems to be fine. One sec. There we go. Virgin Galactic is down 3%. We've got Helion down 1.6%. Netlist. Yeah, we had a bit of a spike, and now everything is starting to cool off again. At least that's what I'm seeing right now. Hey, Gara, please check your PayPal. We got a €10 donation from Kodang. Thank you so much. Kodang says, hey, Gara, can you please look at KGC? Ticker KGC. Thanks. I'll take a look at KGC in a second. The video quality is low. Is it low? Really? That's weird. Is the video quality low right now? Please let me know. Would appreciate some feedback. KGC. Kinross. Yeah, we were bullish on this. I remember saying it could go down again and then just spike to 6.4. We had a spike to 6.3. And then it pulled back. Fairly accurate because we saw this gap right here, and I think the MACD was crossing already, so it was looking pretty bullish at the time. Okay, the quality's fine. That's cool. 1080p. Alrighty. Yeah. I disconnected for a couple seconds, so I'm sorry for that. Yeah, there's like a lot of people that's on the internet. We share one central cable, and for some reason it disconnects from time to time, but it's not a huge problem. It's like a second if it does happen, and I connect to the Wi-Fi. Usually it should be harmless. Weekly chart. Masterras coming in here with a $2 donation and says, win, please. We'll take a look at win in a second. All right, so KGC, right, so it fell back down. It's still falling, right? Still falling. But we still have this trend line going on, right? So that's a very strong trend line. It seems like what we're going to see is just fall back down to 5.7 and it just keep jumping upwards until we get back to 6.3 or 6.5. That would be right after CPI, though, in my opinion, because KGC, 7.4 billion market cap. Oh, wait, hold up. Gold-bearing properties. Huh. Non-energy minerals, precious metals. That's a different kind of company. Would it spike? Let's say CPI is actually slowing down. If the CPI slows down, this company is going to stay in this range. I don't think it's going to spike. You know, I'm going to say we'll probably see it go down slightly further and just consolidate here. Maybe at the end of the month or into October we might see a spike. But I think it could take some time. Mainly due to the fact that if CPI indeed is slowing, then that is a bad thing for the commodities out there, for precious metals, for crypto. Kathy sold a lot of Tesla. Oh, wow. Did she sell Tesla? Let me check her portfolio. Let me check. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. We're going to check her portfolio together. See what Kathy's doing. This will take about a second. Kathy. No, I think we want to see ARK. There we go. ARK invest activity. That's what we want to see. Let's see, what did she do? She bought UiPath, NVTA. What did she sell? She sold Tesla. Okay. She's selling Tesla right now. Oh, she's selling quite a bit of Tesla. 120,000 shares of Tesla, to be specific. How much is that? That's roughly, it's not that much, honestly. It's just a couple of shares. She's selling. Ooh, she's selling more Tesla in many portfolios. Wow, that is interesting. Okay, so it could be that her Tesla position is becoming so large she's selling. I don't think that is the case. I think she's probably selling because she maybe thinks it could come down. And I think it's fair. I think we're in the month of September. Tesla's sitting pretty high. It might correct back down 10%. Like we usually see with Tesla. Also, I wanted to just show you this. C3.ai has 2 events coming up. Tomorrow, it's going to be at the Deutsche Bank Virtual Technology Conference. And this is mainly, you know, it's going to... Obviously, it's a promotion. Like, they're going to promote their products. And the Piper Sandler Virtual Global Technology Conference on Monday. So if you see C3 going up today, tomorrow, on Monday, it's because of this. And I think we could see some interesting spikes in the stock price. Now let's get back to the charts. There we go. Alrighty. We'll take a look at Win. Yeah, I find it a little interesting that Kathy's actually getting out of Tesla. Although it's not huge amounts that she's selling, she's still selling. Very peculiar. Okay, so Wynn Resorts. We've got a 12 billion market cap, and they're actually doing really bad. Yeah, Wynn Resorts should be way below the all-time high. If it's not, then it's bad. Alright, so it's down 50%, which makes sense. Because look at that quarterly revenue. They're burning money. But remember, Wynn Resorts was actually making profit. They had 6.6 billion in revenue on a yearly basis. 2020, because of COVID, they only had 2.1 billion revenue. And then if you take a look at this, if we would extrapolate the 990 million revenue that we had recently, which is the best revenue they've had for like almost 2 years now, we only have 4 billion on a yearly basis, which is still not that much, and they're burning money. And so there's 100% reason for this stock to be sitting at 104 instead of